Welcome back here in Mendrisio as we line ourselves up for the last climb of the Ascua Fresher. We're on the final lap of the World Championship. There are 20 riders in with a shout, and we're going to stay with the action now all of the way to the podium. Will it be an Australian who stands atop it? No Australians ever won the elite road racing title of the world, and next year whoever wins defends in Geelong, because the pro race will start in Melbourne and go down to Geelong. That's 2010. Today's 2009, Matt. And the leader, as we head out to the hill, the controversial Alexander Vinokurov from Kazakhstan.
The closest Australia has come to winning this world title was Robbie McEwen in Zolder when he was racing at his home away from home. Now it is Cadel Evans who's racing at his home away from home here in Switzerland. Vinokurov is leading the charge. It looks as if it might be Kolobnev. It's Alexander Kolobnev, the Russian, that has responded to get across. And once again, it's Johnny Hugeland, the Dutchman. What an extraordinary performance. He's found something very special. Vinokurov can't respond, and the silver medalist from 2007 is now going on his own.
Well, this is going to be a big surprise too. Alexander Kolobnev has sprung the trap here for Russia. He's a 28-year-old rider. He's not won a race this year, or indeed he never won a race last year. The last time he won a race was when he was second in these World Championships in September 2007. Maybe he just likes riding in World Championships.
He does perform well in them. He did catch Tom Bonan by surprise in a stage at Paris-Nice on one occasion, where Bonan thought that he was the first one across the line, but Alexander Kolobnev had broken away, and that two people got to celebrate that day. The little prince, this is Damiano Cunego. He's got Philippe Gilbert sitting on his wheel. We look to see Fabian Cancellara coming into the fray as well. Matty Breschel is there, and the Spaniards are towards the front on force.
It's beginning to look a little bit doubtful for Alejandro Valverde here, because he's being outnumbered by a lot of opportunist counterattacks. As again, Cancellara he's having a little dig, and the crowd have once more risen to the occasion here. It's remarkable to see Cancellara doing this on the hill. He's a man we're told can't climb, but let's not forget he won the Tour of Switzerland this year, though one has to say it wasn't as mountainous as usual, but he still won it, and that's what counts.
At the Tour de France, you often speak about the yellow jersey and the extra power that brings you. Well, what about racing on home soil? It looks as if he's just grabbed the big chain ring and opened up the pipes. Cancellara in full effect.
The little prince, well, his crown is tilted a bit there because Cancellara's effort has blown him off the back wheel. Cunego in more than a spot of bother right now. Remember, the gaps open slightly on the way up here of the Ascua Fresher, but history now tells us they open hugely on the way down the other side, and Cancellara's worked that out for himself. He is prepared to destroy himself up and make up for the difference on the way down.
At this stage, it's one Olympic champion versus another. There's two Spaniards in there. Rodriguez is the rider that's in second position, and Sanchez is in third. The Belgians have still got a lot to cheer about as well. Philippe Gilbert is in amongst it with a chance.
Cadel Evans sitting just 5 seconds off the back of the front 8 riders here, the complete lineup, because Cunego's just got on the back there. It's Cunego, Breschel, Valverde, Kolobnev, Sanchez, Rodriguez, Gilbert and Cancellara. That is the orders. They start the long way down for the final time. Cancellara looks over his shoulder and said, okay, I've made the move, you come and give me a hand. Gilbert always will.
The Spaniards have got 3. The Spaniards have got 3 in this breakaway group. Valverde is there as well. That gives them so many cards to play.
Top 3.
Valverde doesn't have to do any work at all. They can just leave Rodriguez doing the work. And would you like to go head-to-head with Valverde in the sprint finish? He is very quick.
Well, is Sanchez, who was a surprise winner in Beijing, going to be now a winner of the World Championship? He was giving away plenty of autographs in our hotel last night. A lot of people from Spain have come here to think he may do, and he's in that break. The top 3 Spanish riders all of a sudden are on the sharp end.
This is where Cancellara is going to find it so difficult. They've got 3 Spaniards in the group. Rodriguez, they're getting to attack, and that forces Cancellara to chase. And Valverde and Sanchez are just going to be able to follow the wheels, and then we start to see the 1-2. But Damiano Cunego, he's got a lot of pressure on his shoulders as well, the Italian.
Win or lose, fabulous Cancellara right now is winning the hearts of the Swiss people here, and just coming up to the back is Cadel Evans. He's on. He's come right across on the descent. That's the way to do it. And so now Cadel Evans is very much in the fray as well. Remember, when we go to Geelong, Cadel Evans lives down the road in Barwon Heads. He lives even closer here when he goes to his summer home in Italy.
He's just 5 kilometres away from Mendrisio for his European base. He knows the roads maybe even better than Fabian Cancellara, who lives up towards the north of Switzerland. Cadel Evans, though, he will need to attack on the final climb, because he's not going to be able to beat Sanchez or Valverde in a sprint finish. Let's hope that he's got something to give. Cancellara, he has a reputation for being the fastest descender in the world.
Look at this.
He's starting to live up to it.
He's diving for these most dangerous corners here. He's taking the riders into the dead turns, and he's going to slam those brakes on late. He's going to be hitting 75 kilometres an hour. There's the first one as they go on a very tight racing bend, and then they come off wide. Then they continue, and a right-hander will follow. This is going to be a do-or-die effort by Cancellara, drawn to the finish by his own people.
And Samuel Sanchez, Olympic Games gold medalist in the road race, up against Olympic Games gold medalist in the individual time trial. If Fabian Cancellara was to win here, he'd be the first man to win the time trial and the road race at the same World Championships.
Well, it's a great pity we cannot show you a shot of the finish right now, because the crowd here on the feet and urging this man along as he now is doing what he's never had the opportunity to do before, and that's win a World Road Championship on home soil. It's going to be a tough one for him as he's joined by Samuel Sanchez here, who is the Olympic champion. And Sanchez himself has waited till the very last moments to join the leader. But take a look at that face. He says, I can't help you. Well, I think he's probably shamming, but you never know.
Well, that's the advantage that Samuel Sanchez has with so many teammates. He's still got Valverde and Rodriguez in that group. So he can say to Fabian Cancellara, you do the work, you take me, because if you don't, I'm going to have Valverde to come from behind anyway. Cadel Evans has just got to try and recuperate as much as possible on this descent as the move has come from Rodriguez up the inside.
Well, he's gone through. It's quite a legal move, bit of a risk to go across the centre reservation. They've been doing it all day, and that is a huge attack. The other two Spanish are shut down. He's done it at the right moment. Cadel Evans has come off the back. He's realised it's him, and it's now or never. And this is a very exciting move, because it's now giving a free passage to Valverde and Sanchez. Cancellara, after that huge effort. I once remember Oscar Freire doing this on a stage of the Tour de France, going on the inside across a roundabout. It resulted in a stage win. You've got to look for your opportunities when you're racing at this level.
At the back of the group, it's Mendrisio, the rider from Denmark. He was third last year. He knows how to ride well at the World Championships. They won't want to take him down to the finish line because he is a fast finisher. He's been quick enough to win a mass bunt sprint finish on the roads of Madrid at the Volta a España. And he's just sitting at the back, and he's conserving energy. He's watching the others do all the work at the front.
And hoping it all comes back together, which it may not do the way these boys are riding right now. Rodriguez in the red up behind us here, and it's really coming together very, very quickly, and they've all fought back into this, and I thought that might have been the move that mattered. Cadel Evans now is on third wheel. He is perfectly poised as we run towards the last climb of this World Championships. He'll wait, and what's the bet that he and Cunego will go for? He's on the climb.
The other thing that we can look for with Cadel Evans is what sort of a conversation might he be able to have with Philippe Gilbert.
They're arguing. Watch out. The three moving clear while they argue. Quick final drink for Cadel. No, he's going to keep that bottle. He needs it next week.
He's got Valverde on his wheel, and this is kolobnev at the front. What I was thinking before with Philippe Gilbert, in fact, it's Rodriguez that's on the wheel. Rodriguez is a fast finisher.
Still on the attack.
He's not going to contribute at the front here, Rodriguez. He's going to let Evans and kolobnev do all the work. He's going to be happy to slow it down and allow Valverde and Sanchez come into play. We're now looking to see, it's Mendrisio of Denmark that's doing the work. What's happening with Damiano Cunego as we look to see Philippe Gilbert is still there?
Well, Gilbert would love to be up front now, but they're compromised. Cancellara has done his bit. He's compromised. One of the bottles has gone off into the gutter. These three riders have the advantage. They start the last climb now. They've got to attack, and it's got to be Evans to go. He's got to just wait and wait. Rodriguez, has he used the